learners, welcome to the Academy of Commerce and Management. Today, in our UGC-NTA NET JRF exam preparation class, we are going to study a new chapter, namely, Business Economics. This is the third unit of our NET syllabus. So, dear learners, once again, welcome to the UGC-NTA NET JRF exam preparation class conducted by the Academy of Commerce and Management. These are the various topics we are planning to cover in today's class. First of all, we have to see the introduction of economics. Second, we discuss Smith's wealth definition. Next, Marshall's welfare definition. Then, Robin's scarcity definition. And, finally, the modern definition, given by J.M. Keynes. So, let us see each of these topics in detail. The English word economics is derived from the ancient Greek letter oikonomia, which means the management of a family or a household. Economics deals with aspects of human behavior. Greek philosopher Aristotle defined economics as the science of household management. Economics means different things to different people. Several economists have defined economics in different ways. Barbara Wooten remarked that when 6 economists gather, they have 7 opinions. Hence, several definitions of economics can conveniently be grouped into 4. Number 1. The wealth definition of Adam Smith. Number 2. The welfare definition of Alfred Marshall. Number 4. The scarcity definition of Lord Lionel Robbins. And, number 4. The modern or growth definition of J.M. Keynes. First of all, let us discuss how did Adam Smith define economics. That means, the wealth definition or the classical definition of economics. Wealth definition is also known as classical definition. It was given by the Scottish economist Adam Smith, who universally regarded as the father of economics, and his followers in his most celebrated book An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of Wealth of Nations, most popularly known as The Wealth of Nation, published in 1776. Smith defines economics as a science of wealth. Smith defines wealth as those goods and services which command value in exchange. According to Adam Smith, acquisition of wealth is the main aim of human activity. Hence, it is necessary and important to study how wealth is produced, consumed, and accumulated. The manner in which production and distribution of wealth will take place in a market economy is the Smithian invisible hand mechanism or the price system. Other writers who defined economics as that part of knowledge which relates to wealth include John Stuart Mill, 1806-73, and Nassau William Sr., 1790-1864. However, the last decade of 19th century saw a scathing attack on the Smithian definition, and its place another school of thought emerged under the leadership of an English economist Alfred Marshall, 1842-1924. The wealth definition or classical definition of economics is faced by a number of criticisms. Important criticism of wealth definition is that it is too narrower as it does not consider the major problems faced by a society or an individual. Smith's definition is based primarily on the assumptions of an economic man who is concerned with wealth hunting. That is why critics condemned economics as the bread and butter science. The next criticism of wealth definition is that the literary figures and social reformers branded economics as a dismal science or the gospel of mammon, since Smithian definition led us to emphasize on the material aspect of human life. Above all, as a science of wealth, it taught selfishness and love for money. John Ruskin called economics as a bastard science. Smithian definition is bereft of changing reality. Another criticism is that the central focus of economics should be on scarcity and choice. Since scarcity is the fundamental economic problem of any society, choice is unavoidable. Adam Smith ignored this simple but essential aspect of any economic system. Next, let us see the definition of economics given by Alfred Marshall. That is the welfare definition or the neoclassical definition of economics. Welfare definition is also called neoclassical definition. It was given by Alfred Marshall, in his book Principles of Economics, published in 1890. Marshall argued that economics on one side is a study of wealth and, on the other hand, and, more important side, a part of study of man. According to him, wealth is not an end in itself as was thought by classical authors, it is a means to an end, the end of human welfare. Welfare definition of economics has some distinct features. First feature of the welfare definition is that economics is a social science since it studies the actions of human beings. Second feature of welfare definition is that economics should be the ordinary business of life since it takes into account the money-earning and money-spending activities of man. Third feature is that economics studies only the material part of human welfare, which is measurable in terms of the measuring rod of money. It neglects other activities of human welfare, not quantifiable in terms of money. In this connection, A.C.Pigu's definition is worth remembering. Economics is that part of social welfare that can be brought directly or indirectly into relation with measuring rod of money. And the last feature is that economics is not concerned with the nature and causes of wealth of nations. Welfare of mankind, rather than the acquisition of wealth, is the object of primary importance. However, the welfare definitions of economics was also criticized by several experts, especially by Lord Lionel Robbins. First of all, Robbins argued that economics should encompass non-material welfare also. In real life, it is difficult to segregate material welfare from non-material welfare. If only the materialist definition is accepted, the scope and subject matter of economics would be narrower, or a great part of economic life of man would remain outside the domain of economics. Second, Robbins argued that Marshall could not establish a link between economic activities of human beings and human welfare. There are various economic activities that are detrimental to human welfare. The production of war materials, wine, etc., are economic activities but do not promote welfare of any society. These economic activities are included in the subject matter of economics. Next criticism was that Marshall's definition aimed at measuring human welfare in terms of money. But welfare is not amenable to measurement, since it is an abstract, subjective concept. Truly speaking, money can never be a measure of welfare. Another criticism was that Marshall's welfare definition gives economics a normative character. A normative science must pass on value judgments. It must pronounce whether a particular economic activity is good or bad. But economics, according to Robbins, must be free from making value judgments. Ethics should make value judgments. Economics is a positive science and not a normative science. Finally, Marshall's definition ignores the fundamental problem of scarcity of any economy. So, the next definition is the scarcity definition of Lord Lionel Robbins. Lord Lionel Robbins, in his famous book, An Essay on the Nature and Significance of Economic Science in 1932, has given the most accepted definition of economics, which is came to known as the scarcity definition of economics. According to him, economics is the science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have alternative uses. From this definition, we can build up three propositions. First proposition is that the human wants are unlimited. Wants multiply, luxuries become necessities. There is no end of wants. If food were plentiful, if there were enough capital in business, if there were abundant money and time, there would not have been any scope for studying economics. The second proposition is that the means or resources to satisfy wants are scarce in relation to their demands. Had resources been plentiful, there would not have been any economic problems. Scarcity of resources give rise to many choices problem. And the third proposition is that, since prehistoric days, one notices constant effort of satisfying human wants through the scarcest resources which have alternate uses. For example, land is scarce in relation to its demand. A particular plot of land can be either used for jute cultivation or steel production. If it is used for steel production, the country will have to sacrifice the production of jute. So, the society will have to decide which wants are to be satisfied immediately and which wants are to postponed for the time being. This is the choice problem of an economy. Scarcity and choice go hand in hand in each and every economy. In view of this, it is said that economics is fundamentally a study of scarcity and of the problems to which scarcity rise. Thus, the central focus of economics is an opportunity cost and optimization. Scarcity definition of economics was also criticized by several grounds. Number 1, in his bid to raise economics to the status of a positive science, Robbins deliberately downplayed the importance of economics as a social science. Being a social science, economics must study social relations. His definition places too much emphasis on individual choice. Number 2, according to Robbins, the root of all economic problems is the scarcity of resources, without having any human touch. Setting aside the question of human welfare, Robbins committed a grave error. Number 3, Robbins made economics neutral between ends. But economists cannot remain neutral between ends. They must prescribe policies and make value judgments as to what is good for the society and what is bad. So, economists should pronounce both positive and normative statements. And last one is, economics, in the hands of Robbins, turned to be a mere price theory or microeconomic theory. But other important aspects of economics like national income, employment, banking system, taxation system, etc. has been ignored by Robbins. In addition to the above 3 definitions, Lord J. M. Keynes has defined economics, which is came to known as the modern definition of economics, as the study of the administration of scarce resources and the determinants of income and employment. So, dear learners, this is the first class in the unit Business Economics. Here we have studied various definitions of economics. I hope you are clear. If you have any doubt, please feel free to raise queries through the comment box. We will surely address your comments. So, we shall meet in the next class. Once again, I request you to like and share our videos. It will surely be a great encouragement for us. So, thank you.